Welcome to Bar Talk. I am your host, Brandon T. This is a place where we have conversations about what's happening in the world. So, like, subscribe, and comment everywhere you see me at. And with that being said, there's a new trend going on out there. Might not be, actually, it ain't new, but it's one of those trends that's crept up and might be a little unexpected because you think when you think with me when you think of rich white folks, rich white men to be specific. What do you think? What do you think they do? Right? You got the golf course. What I'm saying, making deals, and while they're making these deals on the golf course, they're smoking cigars. Now, now that used to be how it was before, and probably still is. But now that the cigar popularity, I guess when you give me affluent people, other races besides the white man, the rich white man, and now that's spread out a little bit. Now you're seeing new cigar smokers, and what we've been seeing lately is a lot of African Americans, black folks smoking cigars, and what's happening is not just the black men that are smoking cigars. You see black women too. And with that, you see all types of establishments popping up with cigars in mind, catering to the cigar smoker, to the cigar lounge, and so forth. And the question is, how do you feel about cigars? Now, man, if you see a woman smoking, say a cigarette, how you feel about that? Are you happy? You turned off? You okay with it? Not okay with it? But and but this question too: if you see a black woman smoking a cigar, how does that make you feel? Does does she come off a little classier with that cigar versus that cigarette? Does she seem that she's more well rounded and so forth? And then women, what do you feel about a man smoking? Do you see him smoking a cigarette? Does that turn off, turn on, or you neutral on it? Or if you see a black man smoking a cigar, does he seem more rounded? And then two, if he's having a drink with the cigar, the brown liquor, does that bring it all in? Now, with that being asked, in the comments, tell me how you feel about smoking. Are you a cigar smoker? Enjoy the cigar. Are you a cigarette smoker? Or are you a non smoker altogether? How do you feel about the other side being a cigar smoker? Eh, So, with that being said, I'm going to bring in my guest tonight. Here she comes. No introduction needed. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, hello. One day I'm gonna get promoted to Tuesday night co-host.
We working on it. Tuesday night co-host in the works. All right. So we're talking cigars tonight, and question for you in front of the audience here: how do you feel about a man smoking a cigarette?
I don't like men who I don't want a man who smokes a cigarette. That being said,
All right,
I've
that's the
dated.
whole. Oh, I'm gonna let you get your story. Hold, slow down, slow down, slow down. All right, so smoking a cigar, no, smoking a cigarette by a man is a turnoff, right?
Yes, but my mother smoked cigarettes, and that could be why.
Okay, so a little childhood trauma might have had a little extra while you riding in the car with mama back in the day.
Yep.
All right, and then I'm pretty sure that I said you probably around other people that smoked cigarettes back in the day. I'm pretty sure you might have had that real country dude in the neighborhood that could have that cigarette on his lip and could talk and that thing's wiggling all over the place and never fall down. Yeah, yeah, you ever seen that?
That ain't country. That's ghetto.
It depends on where you are from, whether that's country or. Absolutely. It depends on where you're from. So, so tell your story about the guy you dated that does smoke cigarettes.
I dated two guys.
Two.
And the thing is, I didn't know initially. And one, I didn't know for months that he smoked cigarettes because he hid it because he knew if I knew in the beginning, I wouldn't have dated him. So cigarette smokers, that's the thing. They know some of them to hide that they smoke cigarettes from certain people.
How they hide it? You know, have you ever seen a cigarette smoker that they had a shirt with a pocket in the front? That cigarette always in that pocket in the front, and they tap it for no reason when it ain't there. So the tapping didn't throw you off.
No, I never saw cigarettes. I never seen them smoke initially. For months, I didn't see the cigarettes. I didn't smell it. I don't know how that worked, and I didn't see it. But I will say, people who smoke cigars, men who smoke cigars don't hide that. It's weird.
So how do you feel about men smoking cigars? Since the cigar smokers are up front with the chest out, yes, I smoke a cigar.
But see, smoking a cigar is like, first of all, let's talk about how it used to be an old white man thing. Like, let's be for real. It was a sign of prestige, luxury, power, masculinity. A lot of business deals were
Yeah,
done
count that
over
money.
smoking
Count
cigars
that
on the
money.
golf course, at the club. That was a thing back in the day.
Right,
But it switched over somehow.
right. True.
I would, and I wouldn't, I would say I remember women starting to smoke cigars. This is how old this is with black women. I
Okay.
remember looking at The View when Star Jones was on there. So you know how long ago that was.
Mm.
And they were talking about the culture of women now smoking cigars. And that is one of the things that got me interested because I smoke cigars. Got one right here. It's called a Fat Bottom Betty.
Right.
It's one of my favorites.
Side note,
But
people, Fat Bottom Betty is it's not a name pulled out of anywhere. If you go to South Dakota, I do believe it is, there is a brothel in South Dakota, and these cigars are named after some of the famous workers in the brothel. And Fat Bottom Betty is a real person. Eh,
it is.
yeah.
And there's a
So
whole line of them named after the women in the brothel.
so go take a field trip to South Dakota.
But the thing is, that is so true. I didn't know that initially. I just thought they randomly named it Fat Bottom Betty.
Ah, she in
And
there. She in there for real with the leggings on. Hopefully not looking like what the bag of laundry. She ain't looking like that.
now, what's funny is how you why you know the backstory. That's I'm just saying. I'm just saying why you know how you know the
Hey,
backstory.
I was walking through a store one day and somebody was telling me about the story.
Yeah, okay, okay. You got your interest real quick, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like tell me more. What is like that? Who else in
but
here? What's Susie doing?
but blacks have been on the rise. I'll say over the last 20 years, blacks now make up 7.4% of people who smoke cigars. Hispanic 6.6%, and I know that to be true because I work with Hispanics, young too, that smoke cigars and know more about them than I do, and I've been smoking them longer. And then now whites are only at 4.7% who smoke cigars now, so they're in the bottom.
Vegan
And go ahead,
avocado toast, and
avocado with a
they're
cigar.
they're they're eating avocado toast, and they're drinking vegan water. Yeah,
You know they ain't drinking no vegan
they
water.
drinking vegan water, not regular water. They drinking vegan water. They paying extra for that vegan water. Tastes the same, but it's vegan underneath. And so forth. They're doing the extra healthy thing right now.
Yeah, okay. They got them some bourbon, scotch, or something of that
That's
nature
the
in it.
granddaddy.
Probably in it.
No, that's the
Yeah.
granddaddy, not them. They drinking vegan water. I'm trying to tell you, they drinking sparkling vegan water.
Mm-mm. I didn't even know you could buy vegan water. You so silly. But the thing is, you've got a lot of women celebrities who smoke cigars. Jennifer Lopez, she smokes cigars regularly, talks about it, lots of photos with her smoking cigars. Personally, Erica Badu, when she visited Chicago, she was actually at a cigar lounge smoking cigars, so that's her thing too. So you've got celebrity females who smoke cigars today too.
Yeah, like I said, so the culture of cigar smoking has exploded. I mean, I know that tobacco has had its uh let's say a bad rap, which I'm not saying I'm not endorsing smoking of any kind. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to go smoke if you don't smoke. But like I said, tobacco has had its bad rap for it in the cigarette form. It's been terrible, but tobacco in other forms have been held as a good thing. Just like when you got the baseball players that put the chew in their mouth, and it's not, and then it ain't just something to be cool with, right? It's one of the things where tobacco helps clear the mind and focus. So I'm not telling you go do it. I'm just telling you why they do it and what it does for you, and that's in that circumstances. Like I said, you can drink the vegan water and do the same thing. And then so forth. Like I said, when people, you know what I'm saying, have a cigar, they're focusing their thoughts and so forth and calming down. So that's why a lot of people have started jumping into the culture with it. And then also here that y'all Americans out there, y'all are the biggest partakers of cigars. Yep. Y'all America imports 464.5 million cigars a year. A lot of smokers out there. So, like I said, the culture of cigars overall is growing, especially here in the United States. And so, with that being said, Sharice, how long you been smoking cigars, and what's your how'd you got started? What happened?
I've probably been smoking them 6 years.
Okay,
Um, Probably because at heart I'm a tomboy to a degree. I've always been a tomboy. Most people wouldn't know that about me. And so it's like anything the boys did, I wanted to do too.
okay,
And I'm not saying that I was just a follower. It was like, that's not a bad thing, and it's also relaxing. And I think once I had one and found the effect of it being relaxing, I kind of liked it. We'll have a nice glass of champagne with it, and it's a good way to relax.
okay. Good. And so, so you just picked it up one day, or was you around somebody that said, "Hey, try this" when you first started 6 years ago?
I had several friends, guy friends, who smoked cigars. They smoked them around me, but again, I knew that women started to smoke cigars. I wanted to try it. I don't know if I felt comfortable trying it. Like, let me just go buy a cigar and start smoking it. And thank God I didn't do that because I would have probably made myself sick.
Right.
You do need to know how to smoke a cigar. So, at one point when I was around one of my guy friends and they smoked, I was like, hey, teach me how to smoke it. I want to try it. And that's just kind of how it started.
Okay, so it was a more of a group setting and so forth. Okay, cool. Well, cool.
Yep.
That's all right. And so 6 years later, you enjoy your cigar. You enjoy your drink with your cigar. You drinking wine. You drinking brown liquor, white liquor. Just drinking vegan water. What do you like to pair with your cigars?
Now, I don't even know where to get no vegan water from. And I didn't even know that existed. So, no. And I don't really
Coming to
mess
the store
around
near
with.
you.
I'm gonna see it all the time now.
Mm.
I don't drink brown liquor. Nothing against it. I like an old fashioned on occasion and a Manhattan on occasion, but I like to drink champagne with my cigars. And one thing
Champagne.
I will say this too, I like to visit the cigar lounges. Now, let me ask you, because they're popping up everywhere. And
Yes.
every time I go out of town, I love to find the cigar lounge and compare them to the ones that are my favorites. Galveston, Texas is my favorite one because it's on the water. You can go outside and sit and look at the water, smoke your cigar. But do you think that's also replaced people going to bars, just regular bars or clubs, and maybe that's why it's such a big thing now. It just kind of replaced something else.
As far as replacing, I think it's in some areas it's a different type of crowd that would go to a cigar lounge versus a bar. And then, like I said, I think the people that don't like the riffraff definitely go to a cigar lounge because there's not gonna be much riffraff there because the clientele is a little bit more. I don't want to say sophisticated. I'm just gonna say calmer than going to a straight up and down bar and smoking cigarettes or anything like that.
But it has a mentality of being sophisticated, though. And people who smoke cigars have a mentality of it is just that one little step of being a little bit more sophisticated than hanging out in a bar or club or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like I said, and then like I said, and this is one also for you mentioned that cigar lounges, and there's a lot of cigar lounges popping up everywhere, and there's a lot of African American Black folks ownership into these cigar lounges. So that's I like to see that. So there's with the popularity of it in the culture is also owning the establishments, which I commend that 100%.
I can leave my house and hit at least five cigar lounges within a half an hour now. That was unheard of back in the day. But because they are popping up and they are black owned, which is nice. Now we need to get more women black owned. That's it.
Right. And like I said, as it evolves, it'll happen that way as the stigma of smoking goes away. And I do also think that as marijuana laws change, also, I think that will in turn bring more popularity to maybe cigars or stuff like that and create more ownership as things change because especially with the marijuana I know that the it's election year that that the Biden administration is changing the schedule of marijuana probably here soon to bring it to a lower to where it is not criminalized anymore and so selection year, and so forth. So, like I said, I think that in turn will widen the base of the people that want to go towards marijuana versus cigars and so forth. So, look out for that. I do believe that's just my humble opinion on that I grew a little bit more.
I have no idea. I never smoked marijuana for the record in my life, so I don't know what that does for you. I probably will not stop smoking cigars, but okay.
Right, right. And so, like I said, but yeah, so what like I said though, it's like I said, the culture of cigars. It's like I said, it's growing stupendously and so forth. Your host here might have a cigar lounge coming soon with the right situation. So keep your eyes on that.
I'd invest in that.
Yep. Like I said, I know when I first started smoking cigars, I want to say I've been interested in cigars for probably about 20 years. And it was beforehand it was a little harder to get them. There wasn't as many outlets to get them on and so forth, especially to get different brands. But over the last, I will say, last 6 years or so, even probably the last almost 10 years, more places has picked up. I've seen more people, enjoy the experience and so forth. And like I said, for like I said, for a good relaxation, I know with me, with a good relaxation, a good cigar and a little bit of brown liquor, I am super relaxed. The most stressful day can be washed away with those two items when it comes to me and so forth.
It's relaxing, but here's the other thing that's also interesting because, I go on my little cruises. You can bond with people over a cigar. You sitting smoking a cigar. I never smoked a cigar by myself on a cruise. I may have started out that way, but
Right.
it didn't last for longer than 2, 3 minutes because somewhere somebody else that's up there on the smoking deck smoke cigars too, and they kind of all started flocking together like birds of
Oh
a
yeah.
feather.
So it's a
People,
conversation piece. Now, like I said, that vegan
yeah,
water probably not gonna have that conversation, but that cigar will start that conversation for sure.
yes, very bonding.
Absolutely. And like I said, the culture of cigars, and like I said, it's blowing up and so forth. Like I said, the people that enjoy them, I salute you. Like I said, it's a good way to relax and so forth. And with that being said, Sharice, you got anything for the audience out there?
Now I'm gonna skip over my fashion tip this week. I'm
Uh,
a pass.
well, there you go. Y'all got another week to live, however you been living. But next week she's gonna be back with her fashion tips. And
Yeah,
with that
let's
being
get them
said,
feet together.
absolutely. With that being said, I want